Once upon a time, well, 24 years ago actually, a young couple headed for the beach.
Nothing is greater than the sand serpents out there. Unrack our boards just as soon as we get there. Stack 'em in the sand while they're breaking just right. Yeah, we're surfing
all day and we're swinging all night. Vacation is here, beach party tonight. Now, in order to remember that,
yes,
we both have a clear head.
Thank heaven some things never change. Frankie and Annette in Back to the Beach give us an update on the fairy tale. They're married and living in Cleveland, but the beach calls once again.
How many pictures all told did you guys do together then?
We did one, and they extended it.
There were five beach
And you
pictures,
never
really.
did get to be the bad girl. You talk about that here.
Yeah, I always wanted to be kind of a bad girl. I mean, that's my line in the movie.
Now,
Right?
are you making fun of yourself then when you say that, or is that really Annette
No.
speaking?
No, I was making fun of myself then.
Mm-hmm.
You and me, all alone.
Exactly.
It's just like we're married.
Exactly.
Because Frankie was always a little devil, and I had my line, not without the ring you don't. And you know, I'm looking back at those years saying, things have changed so, and I always wanted to be a little salty, a little spicy, and, you know.
Where the hair didn't move, no matter how much wind was going on.
That's right. I mean, it was so sprayed that you could never put your fingers through it. And that was the running gag, too. I would surf, I would go probably under the water and always come up with my hair just absolutely
wet.
perfectly in
And
place.
Frankie, when you're in the water, it's a rear screen backdrop, which is a nice gag on 60s
That's
movies.
the only way I surf. I've got to have a screen behind me.
Yeah.
Unless
I
you're
don't want
selling
an
cars.
ocean. I want a screen.
And a step ladder to get you on the board.
Boy, back in my day, a surfboard was about 9 feet long, weighed about 50 pounds. Not like this sissy job. What? That's a real man to handle one of those babies.
And check Annette's legendary one-piece beach suits. Never let the navel show.
I understand the story about
What's it?
Walt Disney telling you not to wear a two-piece and expose the navel is true. I thought that was just a legend.
Didn't want me to wear a bikini because I was still under contract at the time to the studio, and he had full script approval. So he said everybody would be wearing bikinis around you, and I would like you to look different. Just coming fresh off of the image of the Mickey Mouse Club.
So it wasn't prudishness
So,
necessarily, but maybe some
no.
fairly astute insights.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always felt it was some sort of insight. And 23 years later, I could have worn the bikini, but I remembered his request. What is
That's
the
a
name
heavy
of that?
responsibility. We noticed more things on the screen than just Mickey Mouse. We noticed girls.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you
Thanks.
represented
Yeah.
girl.
I was the tallest one of the Mouseketeers. I really was.
I wasn't looking at your height.
For the memories and for the
Aw,
revisit.
you're sweet.
I
Thank you
enjoyed
very
it. We
much.
are all back at the beach. And I'm John Tibbetts with Frankie and Annette for KCTV 5.
Unrack our boards just as soon as we get there. Stack 'em in the sand where they're breaking just right. Yeah, we're surfing all day and we're swinging all night. Vacation is here, beach party tonight.
Well, it's the call of the lake. In this part of the country, not of the beach, I guess, but I still feel that pulse.
And you say it opens this weekend, right?
Opens this weekend. I have a footnote to this whole story. We shot the interview a couple of weeks ago in Cleveland, and I think it was on a Wednesday, because Annette came in and says, you know what today is? Today is Anything Can Happen Day from the Mouseketeers.
I don't remember.
When
the
every day
Mouseketeers. You
had
must be very old.
every day had a label. And so she remembers all of that, and Avalon says, oh no, here we go again. She does this all the time to it.
You know, they're really wonderful people. Frankie was here back, I think, in March or April, something
Very
like
nice
that.
man.
We had him on the show, and he's hardly changed at all. It makes me not like him very much, you notice?
And as far as Annette goes, I think her beauty becomes more refined and somehow clearer as she gets older. And that also is very disgusting.
You know,
She's always there for
if
us.
you got to figure it out, she's got to be 42, 40. I shouldn't even
About-
talk about that probably, but that's all right. She's a gorgeous lady
It's
at
about
that age.
43, and she and Frankie co-produced this picture together. And they'd been traveling around and doing all kinds of interviews and really logging the miles to push the picture. It's an uneven film, I think, but at its best, as we saw in the interview, they're willing to poke fun at each other, and that's pretty nice.
Prognostication, is this going to be a big movie for them?
Well, I don't think it's going to be as big as something like Summer School. I think the oldsters like us, alas, will get more out of it than the youngsters. But there's a nice little deal there about surfboards. Today's surfboards are small and compact like our cars. The surfboards in Avalon's time were 9 feet tall,
50
monster
pounds, right.
boards. And there's, I think, a correlation between the boards, our lifestyle, and our cars. It all sort of fits together. Lots of layers in the movie like that.
Well, we'll watch for the movie. It makes us all seem a little older, though, doesn't it?
Incidentally, be watching for some of the theater coming up this week. Do I have just a
Good stuff.
second?
Sorry.
No more time?
No more time.
Talk
That's
to you
it.
later.
Okay, thank you, John. The best picture in the world. It may be a woman. That before we close.